JHT, I'm James.
I'm Holly.
This is Holly.
I was looking the other way.
It's late.
It is late.
It is late. Basically, we have just come off the back of watching the Gamescom broadcast Opener Night Live with Geoff Keighley.
Yeah, live from Cologne. Not
Live
us.
from
We're
Cologne.
in England.
We were there 3 years ago, but unfortunately we aren't there this year. But we have now just set this up to record our initial reactions. Without further ado, let's jump straight in to our initial thoughts, initial reactions of Opening Night Live.
It was fine.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a really good show. Like, so we had 2 hours from Geoff and co. Loads of world premieres.
I think everything was a world premiere.
we had a lot. We had seen some of the things before,
Yes.
but yeah, we had some really good stuff shown. Starting the show with Leslie Benzies, which is nice to see him again. Who is, if you don't know, he's one of the big producer names behind the Grand Theft Auto series. He used to work for Rockstar North, and everywhere.
It was quite a long time ago that we saw this trailer. That was the very beginning of the 2 hour show, and we've seen a lot.
So everywhere basically is
remember-
going to be like, I think the way that they're propositioning it is kind of going to be like Ready Player One's Oasis.
Yeah,
like there's going to be something for everybody.
Yeah, I remember watching it going, well, I need to see a lot more because
Yeah.
it looked so intriguing. I was like, you can't leave it there.
It was almost like two parts, the trailer, wasn't it? It was
It
kind of
was,
like this
yeah.
whole world type thing, and then they had the kind of more cinematic facial
Yeah.
expressions of people.
The thing that I can kind of picture it being like is maybe Dreams. So you know Dreams from Media
Yeah.
Molecule, where it can be anything. It could be a movie, it could be a poem, it could be
That
a
was
visual
exactly
novel.
what I was kind of thinking. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Dreams. But yeah, a game what you think you might pick up, might play.
Yeah, I'm interested to see that because it looks like it's got potential to be anything and everything and
Yeah.
everywhere. So yeah, I'm excited to see more. So it's definitely on my list now for like, I'll be keeping a track of everywhere. So
Yeah.
it was a good way to start the show, I thought.
Yeah, definitely an intriguing way to start.
To be
So
honest.
we know that you love Monkey Island. We also know that you love Dune.
Yeah.
So we saw a new trailer or a CG trailer for Dune Awakening.
Yeah, I was not expecting to see that.
He's
It
got
didn't-
tubes up his nose.
Yeah, well, that was kind of at the end when the camera span around.
So it's Dune.
There it is.
But I wasn't expecting to see a Dune game.
No.
Especially that early on as well. It's kind of like, oh, it took us kind of by surprise. Sort of a shame that it was just a cinematic trailer.
And what about the game itself? Because it's billed as a survival MMO.
Yeah.
And do we like it?
I have no idea what that really means. Like, I'm not there for survival. That's not my thing. But MMO, I'm intrigued. Not that I have any time to put into MMOs because they usually need a lot of hours.
Yeah.
So part of me is really intrigued about why and what that is. But another part of me is like, oh no, I'm not going to have the time to dedicate to that sort of game. But we'll see. We'll see what it comes out with.
Yeah, and I
Because I
suppose...
do love Dune.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and I suppose Dune is the first sci-fi game they showed tonight of lots and lots of sci-fi games. So Callisto Protocol, of course, is your favorite.
Yeah, we said back along that everything seems to be set in this kind of sci-fi apocalyptic world. So Dune is definitely up there in sci-fi and
I
kind of
think they
apocalyptic.
probably got there first out of all of these. Dune
Yeah.
probably got there first on this one.
I mean,
Dune's been out for a while.
A while, right?
But to follow up with then, the Callisto Protocol, that
It's just unnecessary.
it's unnecessarily gory, but kind of the more they show, the more I'm kind of thinking I really don't want to play this game, but I do want to play it
You
just
need
because
to find out why there is a room that just has a massive grinder in the
Yes.
middle of it. Like, why? What is that for?
there's only one reason why that is there, and that is to munch people up.
Exactly, but someone had to build that, plan it out, all
Yeah.
out and everything.
But I think what was really cool within the Callisto Protocol was that kind of new system they had in play, where the mutation system of the enemies.
It's been done before with lots of other games, you
Yeah,
know,
but I guess it was just another thing
it's
that
so visceral now.
yeah, that this just made it kind of how much more kind of gore and gruesomeness can we get in the game, and that was just kind of another level what they added on.
Yeah.
I appreciate that it's going to be a huge game and it's going to be probably amazing for people who are into that, but it's a big fat no from me.
No,
I don't want anything to do with it.
I mean, I'm a big scaredy cat as well, so I'm quite happy to like sit in the corner while James plays it.
I don't think I even want to watch.
No, I think I'll be watching him, and I'll get my enjoyment from watching you jump.
You can basically be facing me whilst I'm facing
Yes.
the screen.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's an interesting idea for
And
a
then
stream.
we need
Cameras on
multiple
you.
cameras set up.
Yes. That's a great
Because
idea.
you can kind of
It's turned
guess
into a
what's,
planning meeting now.
you can guess what's happening on screen by the screams
Your reaction.
I'm actually doing.
That might have to happen.
So
Yeah.
something, I mean, you might be able to play the Callisto Protocol on your new DualSense Edge. Is that what it's called? The DualSense Edge.
Yeah.
So Sony's one and only announcement
I completely forgotten about that.
from that was a new fancy controller. So yeah, I mean, it's there to rival the Elite controller from Xbox. Clearly, it's got all the
Yeah.
customizable options, which is really great for accessibility. So always a big fan of that, to see those sorts of things in there.
But where are the fun colors? I mean, they just released all the fun colors in like a normal controller, and then you bring out just another white one. I mean, come on.
But it's white and black to match the base console. My biggest concern is that as someone who owns the charger, the official charger, does this thing sit in that charger or not?
I don't think it will because I have the extra.
Yeah.
It's got like
Trigger
extra
buttons.
trigger buttons. Yeah.
I'm just thinking a lot of people might have changed the color of their PlayStation now with their matching purple controller. What a dilemma.
I mean, it's right for like you can change the faceplates. Like maybe.
I'm sure most people don't care. It's just me.
No, exactly. I mean, you shouldn't be looking at your hands when you're playing. You should be looking at the screen at what you're playing.
Okay.
There was lots of good games, I'd say. I mean, I was personally quite excited to see new Tales from the Borderlands because I'm a big Borderlands fan. I've always enjoyed the Borderlands games and the previous Tales games. And then I suppose the next big game for me was, and it's looking a lot better than it was before, was Sonic Frontiers. Because, I mean, let's be honest, it looked a bit crap beforehand.
It looked pretty good today.
It looked pretty good today.
Yeah.
So, like, fingers crossed. I mean, we should be able to play it soon because we'll be hopefully heading to EGX or,
Yes.
I mean, you might be able to play it at Insomnia.
Maybe.
So, hopefully we can get some hands on with that and then we can give our sort of feedback and our report on that.
Was there an actual release date for that yet?
Yeah, so that's the 8th of November. It has been sent to die before.
that was it, yes.
Before God of
die.
War. So it's actually sandwiched between Pokemon Scarlet and God of War. And it's like, Sega, what are you doing to your best blue boy? That's naughty. Fancy doing that to Sonic.
That is kind of mean.
But then that being said, the people who are more excited about Sonic are probably maybe a bit... I say that, I'm 35. And I'm like... like, I want God of War and Sonic.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to make that big decision. But there will be people who can't
You have
physically
to-
buy God of War because they're too young. And then
Yeah.
hopefully Sonic's good.
You have
and
to
they
complete
can
Sonic
enjoy
in a day.
it. Well, you got to go fast, haven't you? So yeah, apart from that, Holly, I think one of your favourite games was Under the Waves.
That one looked really intriguing, but I'm not sure why, because I normally hate water levels. So
And
the
then this
whole
is a
concept of a game
whole
being
game.
underwater, I don't know why that one piqued my interest. But that one, obviously we didn't really see any gameplay, so I could get to the gameplay and go, nope. But that one just looked interesting.
We had some really interesting imagery there where you see like the highway that is
Yeah.
underwater. And also it's going to be good to see whatever Quantic Dream make now that they're not creating just for PlayStation as well. So obviously this is going to, I say obviously, it's now going to be coming out for PlayStation, Xbox, PC, everything.
Okay.
And whether it's going to be the same sort of thing as like Heavy Rain or Detroit or Beyond Two Souls, who knows? You know, we
Yeah.
saw a tiny little snippet. But the important thing is that it is actually going to be supporting ocean preservation. So I
Yes,
guess you
I
can
saw
feel
that.
good when you buy
I like
it.
that. I think more people need to do that, like put some profits towards some good causes. And I really like that.
Definitely. And that was another nice thing in the show that we got to see some more information on at the Gamescom Forest. And they
Yes.
confirmed that it was actually the first like presentation like this where it was carbon neutral, which
yeah,
is
they
like,
offset it, I guess.
I guess so, because you've got, I mean, Jeff's flying in, presumably.
Ooh, yeah.
He's not taking
He's
a
not-
I
pedal
think a lot of people were flying into Gamescom.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot of trees that had to be planted.
That's a hell of a lot of trees.
But
if
however
they've,
they do
if
it-
they've done it, you know,
Great.
all for them. Like that's an amazing cause. So yeah, that was awesome to see.
Yeah. So obviously we had Under the Waves, which Holly, you're excited about. Also Monkey Island. So we've
Yes.
got to finally get a release date for Return to Monkey
Yeah,
Island.
and it's soon, right?
It is next month.
Yes, 19th, I think. maybe.
19th of September. And
Yes.
I love this little dig at like Bethesda and Oblivion. Exclusive horse armor DLC.
That did make me laugh. I was like, that's going to be useless. And it was
and
completely useless.
they say it is going to be useless. And it's
Yeah.
like, I hope it's one of those things that if you get it, it like burdens your character. Like
Yeah,
it is,
yeah.
like you can't get rid of it for whatever reason.
You
And
just gotta carry it
you're
around.
always stuck with it. And then
Yeah.
you're having to like manage your inventory and stuff like that. And you're like, it's bloody horse armor again.
You can't drop it.
You can't get rid of it.
Yeah, no, I loved that for like the nostalgia. Obviously, haven't played it since I was really little, but yeah, I think I'll check that one out.
Oh,
I think that
fantastic.
one's probably one of the few that's a definite like, yeah, maybe not at launch. September's gonna be a bit busy, but at some point, I think I'll get around to that.
Cool. And then it was my turn for my favorite, which is Lies of P. Which is the first time I said it correctly because I'm always talking about Lies of Pi.
Oh, now you've said it.
But now I've said it. So yeah, Lies of P, which is basically, I mean, if you know me, you know that I love Bloodborne. This is looking like Bloodborne. And I also love Disney. So Bloodborne meets Pinocchio. Like, I know Pinocchio is not a Disney thing particularly, but you know, it still is. And we got to see a bit more of that today. So we got to see Geppetto, maybe a look at Fairy Godmother, and potentially even Jiminy Cricket or some sort of conscience there.
And
I
this
mean-
was the point me and James realised we didn't know anything about Pinocchio.
I said to Theo, I thought it just had a big nose. That's all I know of Pinocchio.
I mean, that is a thing that he is known for, I suppose.
But
If
we
you
didn't
had
know
to give
any
him
of the
one
other
characteristic.
characters. I think that passed us by.
But actually, overall, the kind of the gameplay, which they kind of showed off, looked very, very cool, very, very intriguing. A really cool looking world, and
It looked a lot faster than the last time we saw it. So the last trailer we saw for Lies of P was very like slow, methodical, working your way through these sort of like gothic horror environments. It seemed a lot quicker today. There was a lot more action to it. I mean, there was a jump out of a window followed by a superhero landing pose, and it's like, oh, we didn't see that in the last trailer. So yeah, I mean, excitement is just through the roof for that one. Like, we don't need Bloodborne 2. We just need Lies of P now. Lies of Pi. Give me pie.
it's too late for pie. It's past our bedtime.
Yeah, it is a bit late for pie. But High on Life.
High on Life, we had a bit more sort of gameplay
We had a
reveal.
boss fight
Yeah,
today.
it was in a lava pit.
Slime pit?
Slime pit.
I think that
Bugs.
is purely to show the snippet that we saw today at Gamescom is purely there to showcase the writing and the comedy aspect. Like
Yeah.
we've seen some of the gameplay before, like we know that the weapons talk to you. I don't think anyone expected a knife to be like that crude.
That kind of sold it.
That genuinely made me laugh.
Yeah,
That did kind of sell it to me. It was the crude, the comedy, the kind of a comedy first person shooter, just kind of stands out to me.
From the maker of
maker of Rick and Morty.
Yeah,
It's going to be a good, fun, colourful, crazy, frantic, wild game, and I think it will be
It will be fun.
just a great fun game to play.
Yeah. So, I mean, the show was really good today because it had a lot of new IPs shown off. Personally, I feel like the IPs, a lot of them were just CG trailers, so we didn't really get to have a great feel of what these games were. But one that we did get to see, which was called Where Winds Meets, looks like a gorgeous action RPG, very kind of like Crouching Tiger in the way that movement works, if you know what I mean. You know, you're skipping over water and things like that. We did get to see a fair amount of gameplay for that for a very first trailer. What did you think? Did you enjoy the look of that one?
I thought it looked amazing. Again, I don't know if I'll get around to playing it. I still haven't played Ghost of Tsushima. It's on the list. Nowhere near getting around to playing that yet.
And it does look like Sekiro meets Ghost of Tsushima as well, doesn't it?
So it looked really interesting. I don't know if I'll get around to play it anytime soon, but it's definitely one that maybe I'll just watch you play it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, my interest is boom, that's done. Yeah, I'm into it. So we will probably be seeing that on the channel at some point in the future. And then from Where Winds Meets, we had another one that is very special to my heart. Kojima popped up. Not to talk about any games, but to just promote his podcast. But yeah, that's a nice little like.
I thought when he
aside.
popped up, I was thinking, it's a bit strange having a Spotify sign behind. I didn't even twig that it was going to be some kind of product placement of check out my podcast on Spotify.
I mean, I've genuinely tried to listen to his podcast before, but it is in Japanese, and I've gone like the first minute or so, and I've gone, I'm not going to get anything from this.
No.
And there's no reliable translation that I can find. So to have it in his new exclusive Spotify podcast in English as well, starting on the 8th of September. So yeah, I'm on board with that. One thing I definitely won't be on board with, because I definitely won't be able to afford it, is the Pokemon Mini. Don't think anyone expected that at Gamescom.
It was kind of a weird, almost like they just shoehorned that in randomly. Probably got paid off by Mini to insert that section in. Cool car.
Electric
car.
Electric.
Why wasn't it yellow?
It's based on Pikachu. Why is it not yellow?
I mean,
Color scheme by Bulbasaur. Charge by Pikachu. It was still very cool. Electric cars all
It was
the way.
very similar to when Volkswagen showed off their Star Wars inspired vans.
Yeah.
Was that back in Summer Games Fest, possibly?
Yeah.
no, that was the Star Wars Celebration.
Star Wars Celebration?
I've no idea when that was.
Whenever it was, they showed that kind of collaboration off, which was kind of cool, and I really liked that. Kind of cool seeing this kind of Pokemon-inspired Mini, but it just felt a bit odd, a bit out of place in the actual show. If they brought the Mini on stage and showed it off...
If someone ramped it on stage.
Yeah, you should have drove that on.
There's no emissions. It's electric.
Zero
Yeah,
emissions.
I suppose. Yeah. You're not going to get that situation where everyone's choking on the fumes as you pull up on stage. But I think it's a concept car, so people will be waiting a long time to get their hands on it if it ever does come out. And something else, and the last thing that they showed today is something that people have been waiting a really long time to see, is Dead Island 2. Thoughts?
That did actually intrigue me. I haven't really, I guess, been off the bandwagon of that. I've not really seen anything about it. Obviously, you said it's been in the works for quite a long time.
Very long time. Basically, a trailer came out a really long time ago.
Yeah.
Since been parodied by Goat Simulator 3,
Yeah.
which we also saw again tonight. And it was kind of is it alive? Is it dead? I mean, suitable because it's zombies, right? But yeah, then it's come back, and they actually even showed some gameplay for the first time. So
Yeah,
it's
and I
the
thought
first
it
ever look.
kind of did look pretty fun, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like a fun zombie game. Obviously, we've had a million zombie games. They all kind of blend in, where this kind of focused more on the sort of the melee combat, hand-to-hand, close quarter combats of zombies, which, I don't know, seemed cool. I liked that it wasn't a fast, frantic kind of trailer, because sometimes they just kind of confuse you, that you don't really see too much. But I actually quite liked what they did with this and showed a slightly slower paced, I don't know, more fun side of it. And then they said that there's obviously a lot more characters to actually play as, and you can kind of choose and customize the way you play that type of game. Definitely kind of piqued my interest.
And we got a release date. So for those people that are keen, like yourself now, 3rd of February. So it's not too long to wait. So let's hope it makes its release date. But overall, thoughts on the show?
Overall, I thought it was, pretty good, pretty strong. I think they had a lot of stuff for pretty much everyone.
It was pretty good for a Tuesday evening, I have to say.
It's not
Yeah.
a bad way to spend a Tuesday evening, was it?
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
And obviously, they've got a hell of a lot more kind of shows and broadcasts happening over this week at Gamescom. If you're there, congratulations. We're not jealous at all.
No, not at all. We hate you.
But I think that's pretty much us wrapping up our thoughts and our kind of opinions of Overnight Live. Then I was gonna say.
Opening Night Live.
Opening Night Live.
That's the one.
If you did watch it, or if you've seen any of these trailers, we would love to know your thoughts and opinions in the comments section down below. Let us know. Come over, have conversations with us on Twitter, because we're very active on Twitter. And we just want to kind of get in these conversations with everyone. So
We like a chat.
Holly likes the
We
chat.
like a chat.
Yeah.
Without further ado, we are going to say good night, and we will see you on JHT very, very soon. Cheers. Goodbye.
Goodbye.